Hi everyone, welcome back. Someone requested how to make the Jamaican boiled dumplings, how to get them perfect, nice and round. So that's what we're going to be doing. It's a quick tutorial, nothing much to see here. And if you are an experienced dumpling maker and you still stop by to watch and support, thank you for watching. Alright, so let's get straight into the video. Now let's start off with the cornmeal dumpling. I'm adding 3 cups of all-purpose flour, and I'm going to be adding half cup of cornmeal. So when you're making a cornmeal dumpling, it all depending on how much cornmeal you want in it. That's how you're gonna figure out your flour to cornmeal ratio. And then I add my salt. Next, I'm gonna gradually add my water until I have a soft but firm dough. So you want to make sure that you gradually add the water, because Jamaica have a thing what they call when you spoil the flour, you don't want to spoil it. You want to make sure that you gradually add the water until your dough is soft like this but firm. So as you can see, once my dough is formed, I just knead it for a minute. I use the dough to clean the sides of the bowl, and then I'm going to cover it until I'm ready to mold my dumplings. Before setting this aside, I'm just going to sprinkle on a little flour on the top so that when I'm ready to shape the dumplings, I can have a little dusted flour on top to help to form it. And that's basically it. I realize this is like the 4th time that someone is asking me for this tutorial, and I was hesitant to make it because in my assumption that every Jamaicans know how to make dumplings, but a lot of people do struggle with it because we're overthinking it. And for the flour dumplings, it's just basically flour, salt and water, just that. And in my house, not everyone eat cornmeal dumplings, so every time I cook I have to make flour dumpling as well, because my husband don't want the flour dumpling by itself, neither do I like my cornmeal dumplings, so everyone have their preference. So at this point I do have my water boiling over there behind me, just so that your cooking process can go faster. You don't want to knead the flour and then put the water on. So right now I have all my flour kneaded. Normally I'll just make my dumpling one by one and drop them in the hot water, but for the purpose of the video we're going to be shaping them right here in front of the camera, and then we head over to the stove. So there's no perfect size when you're making dumpling. All of them not going to come out the same size unless I use a scale, which is totally unnecessary. I've never seen my grandmother or my mom or any of my aunt measure when they're making dumplings. They just pinch and mold. So to mold, I'm using my thumb, which is quite visual, and I just tuck into the center to mold them. Alright, and when I go over to the pot, I will give them a better shape. This is just to show you a different method. If you don't want to use your thumb, you can use your fingers as I'm doing here. Some people like their dumpling broad and flat, some like it very thick and round. So the majority of persons in the comments that wanted the tutorial, their problem was that their dumpling is always ugly. So I hope my dumplings are pretty enough for your suit. Before I drop them in the pot, I'm just using my wrist to give them a smoother surface. And I should have mentioned, which everybody must know, that you put salt in the water. So there you go, that's my first one. Now if you want your dumpling broad and flat, you just want to use your fingers to widen them like this before dropping them in the pot. Those are for the persons who like a broad and flat dumpling, and that's it. That's all there is to it. So for the experienced dumpling makers, you can go ahead and leave your tips in the comments as well, and please do so respectfully. As soon as all my dumplings are in the pot, I use a spatula. I didn't use a fork because the fork will pierce some of your dumplings, so I use a spatula to stir them, and then you just allow them to boil for a few minutes, and there you have it. In a typical Jamaican home, dumpling is very versatile. It goes with anything at all, even vegetables, steamed vegetable. You have ackee and saltfish, curry chicken, stewed chicken. It doesn't matter what you're having. Dumpling fits well with any meat kind, any vegetable. Alright, I hope my dumplings were beautiful enough for you. And maybe you have a niece or nephew or a child that move away early, they're in university or whatever, go ahead and share this video with them if they're interested in making dumpling. Also, give the video a thumbs up if you like it, and if you are not yet subscribed, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. All right, enjoy the rest of your week, show some love, and I'll catch you in my next video.